first thing first, when you get your bindings, gonna be opening your bindings as is. You're gonna be taking them out of the box. This can go to the recycle. Anything important, make sure there's no bushings in the box. Sometimes they fall in transport. So inspect, get everything that you need out of the box and set it aside. Now you have your bindings in front of you. You want to open them. Open the buckles. I'm gonna have a plastic bag here. In the plastic bag, you will have binding user manual. Really important to read. You'll have 2 sets of discs. You open those. Right here. Some binding models will have extra bushings with the pellet. It comes with hard and medium. And now a sticker, your hardware, and a leash. What you will need to set up your bindings, you'll need Phillips number 3 screwdriver, and always recommended measuring tape to set up your stents. Next up, now bindings, you have a disc, your 2 disc. Depending on what you're rocking, if you're rocking 4x4, obviously you're going to be using those 4 holes. If you have a channel board, Burton channel board, you'll be using those 2 holes on each side of the binding. That's really important. Also, depending on your boot size and your angles, you can run your disc like this, or you can run this way. The difference is one will give you more stance option, and the other one, if you're running this way, it's all about adjusting your boots into your binding so you don't have any toe drag or heel drag. So that's really important. So I guess by now you will know if you're a regular or goofy rider. Tape measure is always good to measure where you want your binding to be set up on your board. Luckily for us, with this snowboard, we have some preferred stance that it tells you where most of people would put their bindings. This is totally optional, depends on what you're looking for. If you want to be more set up on the back or forward, this is all up to you. So we're gonna be, I'm regular, so I'll be putting my left foot forward. So as is right now. One thing also to consider, any bindings that you're putting on your board, if you're regular or goofy, buckles will always be on the outside of your binding. So this would be wrong for me because the buckles are inside. So you want to make sure the buckles are facing outside of your foot. I've moved my bindings onto my snowboard. Now it's time to mount them to my snowboard. Couple quick tips here. First, you want to get your ankle strap out of the way. So you open them, you move them out of the way. What I do is I open the foot pillow here and I slide it underneath the strap. That way it's out of the way. I do that with both of my foot pillow, and then I have a clear sight of where I should be putting my bindings. So what I would do next, figure out what size boot you have. If you want to be forward or backward, if you have big boots, you want to back your bindings. If you have small feet, small boots, you want to make sure you move your bindings closer to the toe side edges. I put my bindings on the reference stance that the snowboard comes with. So I'm going to check it out from center to center of your bindings. Right now it gives me 22. I like to be at 21. So what I'll do is I'll just move my bindings a bit towards the front. Perfect. On your disc, you have center lines on 4 corners. This is 0. Every little notch beside it is 3 degrees. Depending on your stance and your angle, me, I rock in front 18, -9 in the back. So I'm gonna set this up. So I line up where I wanna be as is here. So 18 would be 6 notch. Put it back where I want to be. In the back, -9, so that would be 3 notches off center. 1, 2, 3, like this. Since I'm rocking 4x4, I need 4 screws, 4 washer for each binding. If you had a channel board, you would need 2 screws per binding. I'm gonna grab all of these. We had some comments that sometimes it's really hard to mount your bindings onto your snowboard because the screw is not reaching the insert. Here's a quick tip, very easy. You remove the washer on your first screw. And the reason for this is it'll go deeper into your disc and it will reach the insert. So this will allow the disc and the binding to compress on the snowboard, and it'll be easier for you guys to do the 3 other screws. So that's a quick tip, and it's very easy, but don't forget to remove once all the 3 screws are tightened, and you want to make sure it's tight, right? Because you don't want to loosen up. You just want to make sure you undo that first screw that has no washer, and you put the washer on and screw it back. And that's how easy it is. Every snowboard company is different. Some insert starts lower into the snowboard, which makes it hard. Here's the quick tip, how to do it. Now that I'm done with the front binding, what I'll do, I'll close the foot pillow. So what you do is you can either pull it or you can just undo your toe buckle. Now to close the foot pillow, what I suggest you do is you push down. There's little tabs on both sides of the binding. What you want to do is you want to hear it click. So the easiest is you put one side first, all right? Then if you go to the other side, you pull on the heel cup while pushing down on the foot pillow. Voila, it's done, secure. All right, now I'm going to be moving on to my other binding, and I'll be doing the same process as the front binding. Binding is set up on your snowboard. Now what you want to do is grab your boot. There's a few adjustments on your now bindings as far as the strap goes. You get those 2 lists here that you can adjust, and what you want to make sure is that your straps are right in the middle of the boot. So open it up, put your boot in there, and then just make sure everything lines up perfectly. Right now I didn't have to adjust it right out of the box, so it's really easy for me. If I had to, it's pretty easy. You just undo this, right? It's a bit hard at first because there's Loctite, because we want to make sure it doesn't unscrew on its own, and then you just move it up and down. So super easy, super convenient. Just have to find that. There we go. Make sure this is tight. And if out of the factory you're having a problem because it's too tight, don't panic. You have a fillet head right here. So what you would do is you would just, for the first time, you just unscrew it, and then it's really easy. Then after that, you don't have to use this. But sometimes the factory, they over tight things just to make sure, and then flip it back. And this is very good for me. As you can see, the strap is centered over your boot. Some people like to have it on the tip. This strap, you can also rock it over, depending on what you like. Moving on to the ankle strap, same process as the toe strap. Make sure it's secured and tight, and as you can see, the strap is not centered. So I need to adjust that. So unbuckle, unscrew it, then now 2 lists that we call, and then I'm gonna move it 1 notch. There we go. Back in, repeat. Now, way better. The strap is centered. I like my binding tight. So right now, if I'm looking on both sides, it's right in the middle. So that's perfect. So as you can see here, the boot is right in the middle. So I don't have more heel than toe. So this would be a perfect setup. If I had a bigger boot, I might want to back my binding backward. Or if I had a smaller boot, I might want to move it forward. So everything lines up with your edges. I like riding forward lean. So on the back of your Highback, you have your forward lean adjuster. I like one notch. So I'll move it down like this. And what it does is it pushes your Highback this way. So it gives you more power, especially when you're doing a heel side turn. Just transmit energy to the edges that much faster without using much energy. So I like, when I'm free riding, I love a bit more. If I'm riding the park, I'm zero. I don't put any forward lean. Just the way it is. So just go out there, try it, see how you like it. Maybe you don't want any, maybe you do. Experience with it, and there you go. Have fun. All right, depending if your binding came with extra bushing or you purchased some on our website, after the second day you want to try something different, the feel of maybe a softer bushing or a stiffer bushing, pretty easy. What you want to do is you just want to unmount your bindings. Now you remove your disc, flip your binding upside down. You have 2 toe bushing and 2 heel bushing. What you do is you take your nail, go underneath one in front, put it aside, do the same thing. There's 4 bushing on the binding, so 2 in front, 2 in the back. We had the hard on this one. Now I'm going to be putting the medium. So what you want to look for is 2 toes. There we go, I've got my 2 toes and 2 heel. And they only go a certain way, so the toe won't fit on the heel, so you can't mix and match. So here you go. Just go like as is, push down. Do the same thing with the back. And voila, you have a new set of bushings on your binding. And then repeat the process on how to mount your binding. That's how easy it is. All right, for whoever wondered what this is a leash, and it's requested in some resorts across the world. And this is how you set it up. Go through the hole here. Make sure it's tight. Now put your boot in your binding. Make sure that the leash is attached to your lace. You can see it's solid. And there you go. So the leash prevents your snowboard to come off your boot for some unexpected reason, so there's no runaway snowboard on the hill. So like I said, it's needed in some ski resorts around the world, so you know how to do it. There's more info in your user manual, or go online to our website. There's tons of important information about your binding, the model you're riding, kingpin tool list, everything is on our website.